So today we're going to conclude our countdown to the 250th anniversary of the United States with what I think is the most important lesson of the entire series. Survive. Hi, I'm Nate Charles, and welcome back to the Rule of Law Brief. Survive. It sounds almost disappointingly simple, but it's not. Because when I say survive, I actually mean a few different things. First is that we all need to understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. The problems that we are facing today as a country didn't appear overnight. They were built over decades, almost a generation of institutional erosion, a generation of declining trust in public institutions, a generation of misinformation, and far too many moments where political expediency was chosen over ethical leadership. We are not going to undo this overnight. We are not going to undo this over one election. We're not going to do this in 6 months. We're not going to do it in a year. It's going to take a decade, maybe more. We're not going to restore constitutional norms because one good law gets passed or one bad politician leaves office. The work of rebuilding our republic is generational. And that means that many of us probably will never personally enjoy the finished product. And that's okay. The men who signed the Declaration of Independence had no idea whether they would succeed. Many abolitionists never lived to see slavery abolished. Many of the people who marched with Dr. King never lived to see many of the changes that they demanded. Progress is most often inherited, not enjoyed. You plant trees whose shade you will never sit under. That's what stewardship looks like. Now, the second thing I mean when I say survive means to be strategic. One of the oldest principles in any insurgency is simple. Live to fight another day. Every action has a cost. Every risk should have a purpose. Don't confuse recklessness with courage. Don't take risks that are disproportionate to what they accomplish. Always ask yourself whether the juice is worth the squeeze. Does this move the ball toward the goalpost, or does it simply satisfy my frustrations? History isn't won by dramatic moments alone. It's won by ordinary people who refuse to quit. The civil rights movement wasn't won because of one march. Women's suffrage wasn't secured because of one protest. Labor rights weren't won because of one strike. Each of those victories came because thousands of ordinary people kept showing up day after day. Protect your family, protect your health, protect your career, protect your credibility, protect your soul. Those aren't distractions from the work. They are what makes the long struggle possible. We don't need more people making one heroic gesture before disappearing. We need people who will still be here 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And finally, when I say survive, I mean something even more personal. Take a break when you need one. I've talked about this before. Log off social media from time to time. Reconnect with your family. Take a vacation. Read a good book. Go for a hike. Learn something new. Those aren't signs that you've quit. They're how you make sure that you don't. Burnout doesn't help anyone. A tired movement makes poor decisions. A healthy, thoughtful, well-rested citizen is infinitely more valuable than someone who is exhausted, angry, and constantly running on empty. Sometimes the best thing you can do for the cause is step away from it for a few days. Those moments are not wasted. They are opportunities to remember why you're doing all this in the first place. They're opportunities to reconnect with the people and the principles you're trying to preserve. Which brings me to one final thought. This will be my last regularly scripted video before the 4th of July. My wife and I are going to take our own advice. Since we got married last year, we've never even actually taken a honeymoon. Life has simply been too chaotic. So we're taking a few days for ourselves, and we're heading north. We're going to Quebec. And yes, we're going to be spending America's 250th birthday in Canada. Some people might think that's an odd place to celebrate the anniversary of the American Revolution, but I don't. Canada and the United States have histories that are inseparable. Benjamin Franklin traveled to Montreal in 1776, hoping to persuade the people of Quebec to join the revolution. He didn't succeed. The province of Quebec was governed by a royal governor, and there was never really a representative political body with whom the Continental Congress could negotiate. But the attempt itself reminds us how closely our histories have always been connected. And after the Revolution, what is now the province of Ontario was settled in significant part by Loyalists who left the United States because they chose to remain subjects of the Crown. Cities like Kingston and Toronto, two of my favorite places in the world, owe much of their early development to those American Loyalists. In many ways, Canada represents an alternate history for the United States. Canada is a glimpse of what all of North America might have looked like had the Revolution taken a different course. The Canadians are not strangers to us. In fact, particularly with the people of Ontario, they are literally our cousins. They're part of our shared story. The Canadians deserve our friendship, our respect, and our gratitude for preserving another branch of that history. So frankly, I can think of few better places to reflect on America's 250th birthday than a country whose history has always run alongside our own. Sometimes the best way to appreciate where you've come from is to leave it for just a little while. As T.S. Eliot famously wrote, one of my favorite verses ever, we shall not cease from exploration. And the end of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. That is my hope, to come home and see America again with fresh eyes. Thank you for joining me through this short series. Have a safe and meaningful Independence Day. I'll see you after the 4th. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And as we begin America's next 250 years, remember that the work of preserving a republic is never finished. It's simply our turn to carry it forward.